So what this is a competition ranking report for the website Parker Trust Law, and I'm going to explain how you're going to read this report. Basically, what we're doing is we are tracking a lot of keywords. In this case, we're tracking over 120 keywords across 3 search engines, Bing, Google, and Yahoo, which are the top 3 search engines that you want to track. Occasionally, I'll add other search engines in here, and you'll see more search engines in here. But these are the 3 most important and the ones you really want to look at. So in this case, we're just using Bing, Google, and Yahoo. Now, 120 keywords is a lot of keywords to track, and you got to realize this number 2%, it's showing that the site is up 2%, is really a good number for 120 keywords. If I brought this down and only was tracking the several keywords that I was doing optimization for, this number would be a lot higher, and you'd see that some of these bigger keywords that we've been doing optimization for, like asset protection attorney New York, in this case, being number 8 on Google would be a pretty big deal. So I want to make sure that you understand that, or on Bing rather, not Google, that you understand that even though this only says 2%, it actually is a lot larger when you just include the keywords that we've been optimizing for this month or prior months. That some of these keywords we haven't been optimizing for, and some of them are bigger keywords and are very general. They're not like city located or community located, so they're a lot harder to optimize for, and you're not going to see ranking, and they're going to bring that number down. But as a whole, we want to track the entire website and keep an eye on all the keywords, because even some keywords that I'm not optimizing for will start to rank because your site is optimized for them. So even though I'm not linking specifically for those keywords, the site as a whole is going to benefit with all the linking that I do. So starting with the beginning of the report, this is the search engine ranking for Bing. And I tend to look for keywords up to usually the 200 placement, just so that we can see when they're entering and where they're entering at. Sometimes I'll even go as much as 500 because I want to see the keywords enter the search engine, and seeing them enter the search engines is excellent. You can see some of these keywords you're not even in the search engines for. There's nothing in the top 500 for this one. And what that means is that Google hasn't recognized, or rather Bing hasn't recognized your site for this specific keyword. So even seeing that, for instance, this one is 102, even though that's page 11 on Bing, that's still a really good thing because Bing has now recognized you for that term, and you've entered in the results. Once you've entered in the results, the more linking we do, you're going to rise. So that's a really good thing. So what we're looking at is here are the keywords that we're tracking for the site, and here's the ranking for them. So for instance, asset protection attorney New York, number 8 on Bing. Here's your search engine. We're looking at Bing right now. Going down, David Parker attorney, you're number 9 on Bing. Estate planning attorney New York, number 90, that's page 9 or 10. Estate planning attorney New York, number 24, that's page 2 or 3. You can go on and you can look at all these different keywords, and you can see where you're ranking for them, and you're welcome to go and check that as well. Here's another one, New York asset protection, number 1 on Bing. That's huge. You're seeing a lot of 200s and 100 numbers. These have just now started ranking because we've went ahead and redone all the on-site SEO. So now your site is entering into the search engines for these specific terms. That's when you see them in the higher numbers. So even though these are 200s, 300s, 400s, they're still really good. Here's another one, real estate attorney, Westchester County, NY. This is a longer term, easier to optimize for, and you'll see this one rise a lot faster. Now as we go down, here's Google. And Google, you're going to see right now David Parker attorney is one of the only terms you're ranking for. There's a lot of issues on the site that were causing it to be blocked for these. And so we did a lot of on-site optimization, and this is going to change really the way that Google looks at your site. Google didn't know when it first looked at your site what to optimize it for, because the keywords were all wrong, because the structure was all wrong, because there wasn't the telltale signs that Google looks at your site and sees to understand that your site is about X and Y. And you have to realize that Google doesn't see your site like a picture. And when you go to Parker Trust Law, you're going to see that there are images and graphics and all kinds of great things that look real pretty and make the site pretty for the customers and the people that are visiting the site. But that's not how Google reads your site. Google is going to read your site like a book. And so Google doesn't see it like this. So when Google sees your site, it's actually going to look more like this.
Hi, this is David Parker, and I'm an elder law.
It doesn't see the video. It doesn't see any of that. It sees this, which is text. So in order for Google to rank you appropriately, that's why we're going to put keywords like New York estate planning attorney, New York asset, New York estate planning attorney again, New York asset protection. You're going to see all of these bolded words throughout the text. That's telling Google, for instance, the big text, that tells Google this is important. And then the bolded text, that tells Google this is important. Plus, what I've done is I've also optimized images, I've optimized different graphics, I've optimized links in here. So all of this is optimizing your site on site and giving Google the roadmap to tell them what your site is about. And you'll also notice that if you go into the other different pages on the site, you're going to notice that they're optimized as well. So all of the pages should have some type of keyword on them. They should have some type of information on them that is going to tell Google what this page is all about, so that when Google goes to this page, it will be able to read it. And if you don't have content on this page, you don't have text on that page, you should get it. You should give me some text that I can put in here so that I can add this information into the page, and that way I can get these keywords in there. That's going to help you rank better. You're going to notice the pictures have the keywords embedded in them. You're going to notice that I've linked back into the other pages and interlinked these pages. This is all great stuff to make sure that Google can read your site properly. And now by having your pages structured better, this report is going to get better and better every day. Because you can do linking all you want. I can do linking and linking and linking on your site to get your site, to get Google to recognize your site. But if Google doesn't read your site correctly, it's going to really make that linking harder to do. So restructuring your site and making sure that your site is set up properly and that on-site optimization is done is going to make it so much easier for Google to understand what your site is about, and it's going to make this ranking happen a lot faster. So here's one, foreclosures, Westchester, NY. Here's another one, law firms, Westchester, NY, lawyers in Westchester County, NY. You're ranking very well for those. When you see two different numbers, that just means there's two different rankings for you. You have more than one page that's on page one for that term. So not a whole lot going on with Google, but remember, Google is the best of the best. Here's another one, real estate attorney, Westchester, NY, trust protector, Westchester County Attorney, Westchester County Attorney's Office, Westchester County Foreclosures. This is good to see that Google is recognizing you for some of these terms. Now going into Yahoo, you're going to see another asset protection attorney in New York. You're seeing a lot of good keywords. A lot of actual keywords are ranking. Estate planning New York, estate planning attorney New York. These are very specific keywords. People are looking for your services. We want them to find you and to be a good lead when they get to the site. So when they come to the site, they're going to fill out this form, hopefully, and they're going to get in touch with you. This form is on every page. It's good lead generation, and it's going to bring you clients. So if we're using good keywords and specific keywords, we're going to get people that are looking for the services you offer who are going to fill out that form and get you business. So the more numbers you see here, the better. This is what we're trying to accomplish, is to get you entered into the search engines and then get you up higher. Once you've entered, you're going to see these numbers rise pretty quickly, which is what we want to do. So this is how you read this report, and this is how it's going to, show you that number is up. That's what we want to see. As long as this number keeps going up and these numbers keep going up, it's going to show you the percentage you've gone up in each search engine. Then you're doing good and the site's ranking right. Okay, now this report is a keyword rankings and visibility report. It's very similar to the competition ranking report, except it groups all of the keywords together. Maybe actually a little bit easier to read. And what it does is it kind of gives you an overview up here of how many first place rankings you have, how many do you have in the top 3, how many you have in the top 10, top 100, not in the top 100, moved up, moved down. So you can kind of see with this one where your rankings have been. It's not going to show you moved up, moved down, because this is the first time I pulled this report with all of these keywords. Prior to this, I was optimizing for different keywords, so this is not going to show the moved up, moved down. Next month, it will show a better view of what's gone up and what's down, and this will actually help you understand better. So if it did, you would see also the arrows that point up and down that show you how much it went up and down, and you want to see a lot of green arrows for that. So with this, you kind of get to see the rankings side by side. Asset Protection Attorney New York, number 8 on Bing, not in Google, number 10 on Yahoo. Those are good numbers. You can see David Parker Attorney ranks good across the board, it's still going up. You get the idea of what keywords are ranking where, and you can see a lot of similarities between Bing and Yahoo, but you also see that Google is ranking for different keywords. So there's a lot of variations between the 3 search engines, and this kind of shows you those variations. But it also shows you all the keywords in one compact view, gives you a better idea of what's ranking and what's not. And again, once it's been pulled a couple of times, you're going to see the up and down on both of these, and you'll be able to tell which keywords are going up and which ones are going down, and it'll actually show you the numbers of the amount of up, positioning it's gone up or down too. So more of these reports showing all of these keywords as time go on is going to make more sense and show you more data. But this is the basic way to read a keyword ranking visibility report.